Hello and welcome back to the Mix tournament. This is still the pools round, and this is my final match in said pools. I'm playing this time against SSounder. The standing situation in our pool is that if I go 2-2, I end up tied with Russ 2 at 7-5, which I assume means Russ would advance because I lost that head-to-head. So I'm assuming I need to win this match to, well, we all advance to another group stage, but to stay in like the top bracket, I believe I need to win the match outright. SSounder is a little bit further behind, so like if I tie, I should at least be in second place. Anyway, what are we doing here? This is a prosperity board. Mix is the tournament where we pick a different mix each game and then generate a kingdom from that mix. So start off with prosperity, and it looks like we're going to want to trash with treasure and I guess sacrifice to trash the estates. It's a little awkward as far as estate trashing goes, but not too bad. I think given that we have lucky coin, it's worth opening sacrifice to be able to do that, because we're still reasonably going to be able to hit 5. One question is, is there any reason that we would particularly want Fool here? I don't think so. So there's no draw in this kingdom. We're basically going to be just trying to get a bunch of grand markets. And to that end, I am thinking about actually taking a ducat here. I think I will. Maybe I'll take another one. I mean, I don't mind having silver, but okay, so we can hit, so we can't. Yeah, this was a pretty unfortunate draw, seeing all of our estates in silver in the same hand as sacrifice. Can't hit 5. Luckily, our opponent didn't hit 5 either. I mean, we could hit 5 if we sacrifice the lucky coin, I guess. Maybe that's worth it. We can get the treasure, and we can pull the lucky coin back if we really want it, which we may not anyway. Yeah, all right. All right, here I'm just going to sack a state and grab an Ironmonger. Our opponent bottom decked their sacrifice, I guess. Yeah. Bad news for them. Okay, so this turn I think we just buy nothing. Seems pretty clear. We can save up some coffers to get a grand market. Crown? Don't really see. Unfortunately, we have terminal collision, and there's no way for the Ironmonger to resolve it. We'll definitely be playing the Treasurer. I guess that's not. I guess there's a world in which we play the sacrifice. We'll see, but very likely to be playing the Treasurer. Like I guess if we see a state with Ironmonger, we can hit Grand Market while sacrificing an estate, which I don't think is possible. I don't see how it would be. No, it's definitely not possible. Okay, so Actually, no, never mind. Yeah, we're good here. We can trash copper, do that. Grab a grand bit. And this will just be another ironmonger. I don't really care too much about getting crowns. I may want a second treasure at some point. We can support more stop cards than we're going to have once we've sacrificed the estates. Crown doesn't really do too much. Like, it gives us extra actions we don't really need. I could see getting a crown instead of another treasure, maybe, like, and then that's more flexible, but overall, I'm not too concerned about. I guess crown does work well with ironmonger, so that's nice. Okay, that's a reason. We keep this. We're gonna draw it anyway, so I guess we want to discard it. Well, I was hoping I could play both of my things here, but I guess not. Okay, so we've got 11. So we could go Grand Market Ironmonger. We could actually go Grand Market Crown. I think I'm willing to spend a coffer to take a crown. I do need a little bit of plus actions here so that I can sacrifice these freaking estates. As far as the end game here goes, there's castles, so we could have like a somewhat longer phase at the end. Assume my opponent's going to take a grand market here. No. I would like the key, but I really want to trash these coppers. We're going to have 8 coins. But we don't want to play the copper anyway, because we want to grab a grand market, so it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure we've trashed a lot more copper than our opponent has. I guess part of that is because of the ducats, but taking the humble castle, interesting. All right, so do we want to crown the grand market? Probably, because we're not. I mean, we could get back to the treasurer, but all right, we cannot get 2 grand markets. We can get grand market ironmonger, or we can save our coffers. I think I'll take the ironmonger. So the Grand Market and Ironmonger piles are getting fairly low. Be double Grand Market, Ironmonger, and then they'll be very low. There's no third pile that's immediately at risk, but estates are always a possibility when we have this many Grand Markets in our deck, so that's something we need to watch out for. Discard this. Do we crown the Grand Market? Probably. Sack that. Definitely time to take the key. So, you can take 2 more Grand Markets. We could also take an Ironmonger. Don't think that's a great idea. I think I'd rather save the coffer. How is it that... Oh, my opponent must not have trashed all their estates. Yeah, that's why. I was going to say, how is it that we're tied on points when they have the Humble Castle, but... I don't know who, if anyone, won the Grand Market split. Obviously, there's crowns to, like, add to that. I think there's a real chance that if... Wait, why... Weren't there 2 Ironmongers left at the end of last turn? What happened? Oh, fool. Okay. I mean, I think my opponent should probably take a province here. Province crown would be pretty reasonable, but they take the Ironmonger. Okay, okay. So we might just be able to win on an estate pile out right here, right now. That is not buys. State pile out is going to cost us 16 coins. It is going to help to be able to pull treasure out. So what do we have in terms of stop cards right now? Like, I'm pretty sure we don't have any copper left. We do have a silver and 2 ducats and a sacrifice. Our Ironmongers may skip some of that. I think it's more important that we find the Grand Markets. Discard that. Oh, we do have a copper left. Well, that's bad. Oh man, the crown is down here. We're gonna draw it. Damn it. Do we have enough anyway? We have enough buys. Yeah, we have enough. Lag. Alrighty. Well, I think that endgame could have potentially been a lot more interesting if My opponent had been a little bit more careful, but I will certainly take the win. So that was Prosperity. Now we've got Hinterlands. And it looks like we once again have no landscapes. I was player 2. Cool. I get to be player 1. All right. So the only draw is Apprentice and Den of Sin. Actually, that's a decent amount of draw with Haggler, potentially. Remake and Sentry is trashing. Can't see any reason not to open Silver Remake. I'm gonna do that. There are no plus actions, so we're going to have to choose between Haggler and Replace. So if we're going to draw with Apprentice, that might be... Oh, do we want an Artisan? We could just grab a Den and guarantee we see Remake with 2 estates. Artisan gaining Den is sort of silly. There's no plus actions. Yeah, I don't think I want the Artisan. I think I'm just going to take a Den. Ooh, good thing I did. We're going to have plenty of silver in the deck, so I think I'm going to grab Patrician with my 3 coins this turn. And now we'll have plenty of... Oh, well, I was going to say plenty of silver with which to buy 5 costs, but not this turn. Specifically Dens. I think Haggler or Replace. I mean, we could obviously potentially get one of each and just vary up which we're going to play depending on the situation. I don't know how much of a skill gap there really is. I don't think I've played SSounder before. Alright, so we can get another Den, or we can go ahead and mix in a Terminal. Well, although we still have the Remake in our deck. Yeah, let's get the Den. I mean, it could be a good idea to pick up a Sentry, but yeah. Replace? Oh, Emporiums are here. It's only action cards, so we're not going to gain any points off of that. 8 coins, we've got a Den coming in. So yeah, do we want to go with Replace or Haggler? I think it's Replace. Replace these silvers into 5s. That's what I think. We could collide here, but we had a lot of cards on top of the deck, so it's not so super likely. But we did. Much sad. Okay, I do want to keep the Remake around right now. Do I just replace into a silver? Estate into silver? I could replace estate into estate and attack, but buy a Den. I guess that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not super thrilled about that. Maybe it would have been better to play remake. I wanted to buy the den, though. That was the problem. Apparently my opponent has not trashed any estates. There is some logic to that. You get thinner faster that way. Is this a shuffle that I want to trigger? It would be nice to draw like one of my terminals and play them, so I guess it kind of is. Like that. Does... Should I just take another den? I'd also actually consider buying province at this point. I think if I replace into den, the replace... Or the den will go on top of my deck, which is really not what I want. So... I think I either take Emporium or I take Sentry. I don't get the points for Emporium, but it might still be okay. I think I am buying province at this point. Get to replace again here. I might just do like, depending on what I draw with that fourth card, I might just like replace province to province. My opponent won't have too difficult of a time dealing with the curses granted, but if I can do that and buy province and they haven't started greening yet, that'll put me in a pretty strong position, I think. Or if I have excess silvers, I can replace one into an Emporium again. I still don't think it's possible for me to get the Emporium points off of it right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it's not, unfortunately. I could replace the remake. Or I could just remake Copper and then replace the remake next turn. That makes more sense. Yeah, I can still hit 8 that way. And then once we have the additional Emporium in our deck, we can actually get Emporium points. Which was maybe arguably a reason to have taken the Emporium this turn, but... Well, that's a bad turn. Surprisingly bad considering my opponent drew their deck. See, I think the plan at this point... Well, we could replace the Copper into an estate. I think the plan... Well, I mean, we could get... We just... If we go province into province and buy province, I mean, that's pretty... We have 4 provinces, our opponent has 1, there's 3 provinces left. Yeah, I think that's the play at this point. It's too late to mess around with Emporium points. And even if we have like a relatively bad turn, we can still... Yeah, if we find our replace, we just win. Which is guaranteed. Cool. All right, half a win away. So that was Hinterlands. And now we've got Seaside. Wow, we really are playing no landscapes mix. What the heck? There's a lot of orange cards here. I guess that's not too surprising. It's Seaside, but like, dang, look at all that orange in that list. We got Fishing Village Wharf Outpost. Den of Sin. We can draw some cards on this board, I'm going to say. Haunted Woods. Okay, Haunted Woods counteracts the Den of Sin. Well, there's no trashing. That's unfortunate. So I think we're going to go Fishing Village Cargo Ship open here. We're going to want to, obviously, we're going to want to get Warbs. We're going to want to get, if our opponent gets Den of Sin, we're going to want to get a Haunted Woods. Otherwise, I'm more interested in the Warbs, because they're better. Although... You know, the state top decking is relevant too, so that's something to consider. Double cargo ship. Okay. Yikes. Do we want Haven? I think we do want Haven because of Haunted Woods. Okay, we can cargo ship a wharf. And have more money than we need to do that with. Not the best of shuffles there. Whoa, that is a bold move right there. There's no way we want to set aside copper, right? All right. We're going to have a cargo ship in our shuffle. I think I'm just going to take another fishing village. Turns out there was a reason. Well, it wouldn't have made sense to set aside copper, but if I had known I was going to draw the fishing village, then I would have set aside copper. Anyway, taking Fishing Village even over Wharf was what I was reacting to. That seems surprising to me. Nonetheless, I do look to be behind. I mean, part of that's first player, of course, but I think my Shuffle there was not particularly good. 3 havens is a lot. I do think I want a second one, so I'll go ahead and grab that, but I would probably prefer not to have a third. It's probably time for outposts soon. We've also got to think about how we're going to ramp payload. Bandit obviously is an option. Like, there's not a ton of plus actions, so it probably should be treasure payload. I mean, there's treasury. Treasury is obviously really inefficient. And cargo ship and fishing village each give us some, but not a ton of payload, especially since it's like cargo ship is only every other turn. I mean, I could definitely consider getting another cargo ship at some point. What, another haven? Crazy. All right. I think we still need another wharf right now, like outpost. But I do want to get an outpost relatively soon. I mean, it might be more important to just compete for the wharves, of course. I guess in theory, if your draws lined up really nicely, you could have as many as 6 havens without compromising anything important, because you just keep setting aside your estates. Don't know if that actually makes sense. Speaking of which, do I want to get... I guess I'll take another haven. So now we have... I mean, piles are getting kind of low. I think right now we're even on wharves, but I wouldn't be surprised if my opponent can take the last 2. There's not been a whole lot I could do about that. First player disadvantage. Yeah. Sorry, second player disadvantage. All right. 1, 2, 3. I guess I managed to get 4 wharves. Right. Yeah, no, that tracks. All right. Probably time to take the outpost. And probably need another fishing village. We're going to just struggle to draw the whole time. We're going to have to mix in either woods or den, I suppose. Or either that or the game is going to end before it matters. It does feel like this is pretty... like, this is going to be a real uphill battle. Maybe I went on like a sneaky pile out or something, but my opponent has a big draw advantage. And that's going to be hard to overcome. I mean, in theory, Haunted Woods can kind of overcome it, I guess. At least neutralize it. So we've got 3 fishing villages and 3 havens left. Not a lot. We might be able to win, like, right here, basically, actually, now that I think about it. That is notable. I should think more about this set aside here, because I'm going into an outpost turn. Only 1 morph in play. So we're going to have 9, 10, 11, 12 coins. We could buy 3 havens and 2 cargo ships. Cargo ship, a haven. Probably. Maybe we cargo ship a cargo ship. All we need to buy is cargo ship estate. We need all 12 coins to do it. We're going to set that aside. I think we go for it. Oh, whoops. It's a fishing villages, not cargo ship. I'm dumb. Sneaky pile out. All right, well, I have clinched advancement into the top thing after almost screwing it up, although maybe I had enough to survive the screw up there, but maybe I didn't because I barely got the 2 estates. Well, I needed 1, but like I would have been down an additional 3 coins, so I think it actually was important that I not screw that up. Or, I don't know. Whatever. Did I have 7 coins? I think I had 7 coins. So Seaside, there we are. Yeah, so I actually did need to not screw it up. I guess I would have tied, which actually would have been good enough anyway for me to advance. Okay. Why did I put the landmark into the second slot? All right, final board. We actually have a landscape. Okay, so what is this board? It doesn't look like a board with draw, nor does it really look like a board with trashing, so that's fun. Yeesh. If we take... I mean, we can do some thinning with Necromancer, but that's always pretty unreliable. Necromancer can turn both Animal Affairs and Peddlers into Province, which is exciting. But I think I do want one. We don't want to buy anything at like 5, right? Like, I'm actually thinking about opening Camel Train, because if they collide, we can play Necromancer as Spy, whatever. Or even play it as Zombie Apprentice. We can like Camel Train like Peddlers, and then like dump a bunch of Peddlers into our deck without needing to Traveling Fair for plus buy, which isn't like that exciting, but it's something. Get a gold that we can pick up later too. And like I said, I mean, honestly, like the gains from that looks better than what we're going to be able to buy. Like there's villages that we don't need. Settlers is fine, I mean, but we can probably afford settlers anyway. I'm going to get the Camel Train. I do not actually want a changeling. Yeah, see if we can get it. Get a settlers right here. We want to take 2 settlers, or do we want to take a peddler? Well, exile a peddler. I think I'll take a second settlers. It seems good. So I'm definitely just going to trash here. We did have seen all of our estates, so we're going to be trashing copper. Not ideal. So it goes. I think I'm just going to take more settlers so I can make peddlers cheaper. Who cares about silver? And honestly, these settlers are the closest thing we have to draw on this board anyway. Other than, I guess, Necromancer, Zombie Apprentice stuff. Let's grab another one. So we do have an estate down there now, as well as some settlers. Okay, there's Bustling Village. That is also a draw for us. I think we're gonna go just Necromancer as spy. Top deck that. Exile, Peddler. We could take the Camel Train, or the Bustling Village. Well, we can't get though. Oh, we can. I guess we can Traveling Fair the Peddler. Why not? I would have preferred not to see both of these together. It's tempting to just apprentice the Camel Train, but I still want to use it this turn. Top decking or discarding that doesn't really matter. Oh, I don't get another one? I guess I can't math. Oh yeah, your buys only go up by 1 because you spend a buy. I was thinking that was going to give me 4 buys, but it was only 3. That's fine. I got plenty of peddlers. I would like another Necromancer now. And some Bustling Villages would conceivably draw cards for me. Oh, my opponent did not get the last peddler. How about that? We could go... I mean, the Bustling Village isn't going to do anything right now. Traveling Fair... Peddler... I think I'm just going to take another Necromancer. Ideally, I draw the camel train, I zombie apprentice it, and then I get to play the other one as camel train on Bustling Village. Unless I hit 8, in which case I'm just going to province. Could also take an Animal Fair. Be a reasonable card to have in the deck. Could trash the camel train into an Animal Fair. Maybe that's what I should do. Grave Robber. Oh no, you're gonna take my zombies out of the trash. Don't do that. No! I think I want to go spy here. I could Traveling Fair my own Grave Robber. Also just grab an Animal Fair. Not worry about the zombie thing. We can always trash cards with the Necromancer later. Yeah. Or should I get a Bustling Village? I do have the Camel Train and the... Yeah, let's get a Bustling Village and then turn... We can always turn the Necromancers into the Animal Fairs too if they end up being not useful. Because of the Grave Robber. Does seem pretty rude though. I want to buy Animal Fair. Maybe we'll just exile a Bustling Village and then buy Animal Fair. The issue is I want to buy Bustling Village, but to get both of them I have to Traveling Fair. Oh wait, well, I do still have Mason and Spy. I think I'm gonna get the Animal Fair. Do I want to top deck it? Maybe I do want to top deck it. I don't think I want a silver. I mean, silver would give me guaranteed province. Yeah, alright, I'll take a silver. Wait, not guaranteed province. Why did I think that was guaranteed province? I was like, Animal Fair gives me 7 coins. No, it costs 7 coins. Ah. Oh no! You found it. It's lucky. I'd turn that into province. Oh, Flag Bearer. Okay, we can fight over that, sure. So, do we want to draw on? I mean, it does mean that our province misses the shuffle. The province that we're about to buy. And we potentially actually get to take advantage of the plus buy that we have. Yeah, I'm gonna draw on. So we can take the flag, right? Okay. Exchange the flag bearer for a changeling. I don't think we actually want to do that, but it is interesting. Like you could take the flag without taking the flag bearer. We do kind of need a grave robber if we're gonna. Well, we can always trash flag bearer into animal fair, I guess. Why do you want that many necromancers when there's so little in the trash? I guess there's a peddler and a port, but. Okay, what else? So, yeah, there's peddler, port. This is a lot of stuff to miss the shuffle. A lot of stuff. You can get 2 cards deep. I guess our shuffle isn't that long. And it does have our animal fair in it, so we can still do stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna trigger. Oh, it's longer than I thought. Well, there we go. So we have enough to buy Bustling Village Province. And get some more Bustling Villages. And top deck the Bustling Village. Cool. I do wonder whether I should have gotten a grave robber. Like, I could grave rob the bustling villages into provinces in addition to everything else. That would probably be pretty good. My opponent, I don't believe, has anything other than peddlers that they can grave rob into provinces. Which, I mean, is, like, legit. Although I don't know how many peddlers they actually have. I have a lot. Okay. They have the flag now. What do we got? Mason, peddler. Mason, what's like the worst case scenario? Not entirely sure. Like, I mean, if we hit peddler and turn it into province, that's great. We hit our animal fair, that's not great. Although we do have the option to turn the flag bearer into an animal fair and get the flag back at the same time and take the last bustling village for what that's worth. Well, that's not true. No, it is true. Yeah. 7. So we could buy traveling fair, bustling village, animal fair. Okay, I'm willing to take the shot, I think. Boom. Top deck you. Top deck you. Piles are kind of low. Ports wouldn't be that hard to empty. Wonder if we can do it here. We certainly have the buys. 18 coins does not buy. I guess it does. Right? Exile, I don't know, a grave robber. Easily buys enough ports. I don't know why I thought it didn't. Well, that went swimmingly. Well, yeah, I do think I played pretty well on the whole here. I mean, there were definitely some things that my opponent did that I think, you know, were mistakes that if they had avoided, I mean, the obvious example being in the wharf game, where if they hadn't left me with a pile out, they had the advantage and they probably would have closed that out and won the game. But you know, still, I'm pretty happy with how I played this one. Certainly a lot better than I played my first mix match that I lost. And so despite losing that one to the person who ended up in the runner-up spot by sweeping the next two 4-0, I have put myself in the top bracket. So I finish out 9-3, I believe. Rust 2 is 7-5, and I think SSounder and Snowbusy are actually tied. I think they split with each other and with Rust 2. So I don't actually know how they're going to figure that one out, if they're going to coin flip or what. But in any case, yeah, I will be moving on. So the structure of this tournament is actually pretty complex, because the next round is another group stage in which, like, so all the top finishers will advance, but then they're also divided into pools, and then that informs some kind of bracket stage at the end, which I'm assuming is a very short bracket stage based on that structure, but I don't remember exactly. Either way, thanks for watching, and I will be back with the next round of this, whenever that is, which I think should probably be within the next week or two, as well as more league matches coming up this weekend and next weekend. So until then.